We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
With Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Whether you listen to stories, motivation, expert advice, any genre you love, you can be inspired to imagine new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of thinking. And Audible makes it easy to be inspired and entertained as a part of your everyday routine, without needing to set aside extra time. As an Audible member, you choose one title a month to keep from their ever-growing catalog. Be inspired to explore your inner creativity with Viola Davis's memoir, Finding Me. Find what piques your imagination with Audible. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
It is dangerous for me to do this when NASCAR has a night race. Because let me take you behind the curtain here real quick. We record this at 10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. It gets out to you on Tuesday mornings, but we're recording 10 p.m. on Sunday. So if NASCAR has a night race, I'm either trying to hop in here while the race is still going or right after it's finished. And man, I mean, some of these things that these shenanigans you have going on, it's hard to come back down to a level of like podcasting. You know, I feel like podcasting, you should be like calm, you should be like on some NPR shit. And let me tell you, like I'm not in the headspace for that at all. Like I watched the race ended. My heart was probably going like 150 beats per minute, something like that. I got on my computer real quick. I booked tickets to go to Michigan. I booked my hotel just like right then and there. Like just as soon as I was like, I got to go do my duty. You know, I got to go boo Austin Dillon in person. And so, yeah, like I'm running very, very hot relative to like how I feel like. I feel like podcasts, like you want a nice, like mellow, like hello and welcome to our podcast.
If I may ask you, have we ever sounded like that?
Ever, ever, ever.
I feel like we've never sounded like the ideal podcast, right? Like I'm saying, this is the ideal podcast, not our podcast.
So like, your ideal podcast is like sleepy time ASMR?
I don't know. I just think that when you have these exciting finishes in the NASCAR Cup Series, it's kind of hard to really think about the cultural implications of stock car racing in North America.
Hello and welcome to Deconstructing with the SICKO's Committee.
But here's the thing: Car Talk was on NPR for a long time, and Car Talk did not sound like this.
Hell yeah, that shit rocked.
Sound like this either.
No, but however,
yeah, but those are weekend NPR. Weekend NPR is different.
Yeah, we come out on a weekday.
Hey NPR, if you need a sports podcast, we're here. Sorry, I got Beth in the middle of a yawn and she almost choked on it. Sorry.
One thing, by the way, I forgot to mention this. I think I have the show notes. Yes, I do have the show notes. So I have this idea. So rather than going through and trying to talk about stuff from the Olympics as like a rundown, I thought we could do like an Olympics draft, like just draft your favorite things from the Olympics, and then you can use that to talk about the things that are on the rundown here. So rather than like trying to go through them kind of in the normal way, I feel like we should try something slightly different and do it.
Is this the show or is this a production meeting?
This is a production meeting. We did the cold open. I'm going to cut this and then we're going to do the show.
Okay, that's fine. That sounds good.
So everybody get your draft boards ready. Try to think of your favorite things from this past Olympics.
So, like, what happened in the race? Like, Arthur, we can cut back to what happened in the race.
Oh, okay. So brief explainer. So, Austin Dillon, he's the grandson of the team owner. He's came into tonight 32nd in points, and he for the first time all season, like he had a fast car. He was going to win the race just like straight up on pace, but with 2 laps to go, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. crashes, sends it to overtime. And so basically the way overtime works is like, it doesn't matter if you've led for a lot of the race, right? You get to overtime. It's kind of a little bit of a roulette wheel in terms of like, you know, who gets a good restart, who can get the lead there. So he doesn't. He has a terrible restart, as he has had all season. Another driver, Joey Logano, gets the lead. They go around, final lap into the final corner. He is, I would say, about 3 or 4 car lengths behind Joey Logano. But unlike Joey Logano, he does not brake to make the turn. He just keeps going and hits Logano, uses that to slow his car down to make the turn. Logano spins out. When that's all happening, Denny Hamlin gets beside him and passes him, almost has him completely passed, right? So like Austin Dillon, his left front is alongside Denny Hamlin's right rear. And you would think, right, like Richmond is a track where it's sort of shaped like a D. So like the front stretch does curve, but it doesn't really curve like that. So Austin Dillon just right reared Denny Hamlin like right into the wall to win the race. So he wrecked 2 cars to win the race. The first one, it was like, okay, like that's something that is considered unsporting, but it's not considered to be like crossing a line of like official like NASCAR sanctioning. The second one, like right rearing someone into the outside wall, that's something that that's something that NASCAR has set penalties over in the past. We haven't seen someone do that for a race win. So it's like, it's unclear, what that would entail, but of course it's caused a lot of, I would say
timeline exploded like right before the podcast.
Yeah, well, okay, because
I am watching this clip on loop. It came up organically in my Twitter, and like, as someone who used to watch a lot of NASCAR, who doesn't watch a lot of NASCAR anymore, holy shit, is this some dirtbag shit? God!
Here's the thing: if Austin Dillon had done this to, honestly, maybe any other drivers, like I can think of like maybe like 1 or 2 that he could have done it to, where like people wouldn't hate. I mean, but like he basically picked.
Fuck him.
Well, no, but I'm saying he did this doing this to Logano and Hamlin. Like those are the 2 guys that get the most boos at NASCAR races, like when they do driver intros. Besides Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is a whole nother thing, but those 2, like they get booed a lot. They're kind of like, I guess, heels if you're familiar with wrestling terminology. So it's like basically doing this like incredibly cheap shot, borderline illegal move, but it's on like people that a lot of NASCAR fans don't like. So like if it had broken down in a different way, I think like a lot of NASCAR fans would have been very much against this. So because of like everyone involved, it's a lot of people with like kind of pre-existing like rooting interests coming out. So it's a fun time to be online. It's a fun time to be on NASCAR Twitter. I mean, like you can tweet something, get a lot of engagement, a lot of people in your mentions. But like I said, like I'm above it all in that I'm not going to go online. Okay. Like I'm going to be real about it. I just logged on, booked my ticket to the race next weekend, booked my hotel, got everything sorted. Like, I will be there in person to make my feelings heard. So I'm not going to get into it on the internet, because the internet's for fake people. I'm real.
On the soothing normal podcast like we have here. Not going to get on it. Not going to get into it on the internet.
This is not the internet, actually.
This is not the internet. No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone, to the SICKO Squinty Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of August 11th, 2024. Sickos out there, I need you to be very careful about something. You've been mainlining sports for 2 weeks straight, about 12 hours a day, basically. You're going to have to come off of that slowly. You're going to need to taper. You ever been on SSRIs?
What are you talking about? The AP poll comes out tomorrow. Let's go.
Okay, but that's not the same as waking up at 7 a.m. for the Olympics.
I don't know, man. I'm going to be pouring through those also receiving votes.
Oh, I mean,
y'all got to taper this off because you've been mainlining sports, y'all.
Meds in the trash. Let's fucking go.
This is going to be, we can't take this kind of energy to August baseball, y'all. It doesn't fit right.
Well, we definitely know the Pittsburgh Pirates have not taken any energy to August baseball.
Did you have to?
you had to? No. This is no.
Oh my God.
Don't take your energy there. Folks, we are taking this energy to the Little League World Series.
Oh, yes, we are.
We are going to scenic Central Pennsylvania. We are going to scenic South Williamsport, and we are being extremely online about Little League baseball.
That's right. I hit dingers.
We gotta also not take this to preseason NFL. That's the wrong energy entirely.
Why would anyone ever do that?
What are you talking about? The Edmonton Elks just won their second in a row, defeating the BC Lions 33-16. Also, the first CFL tie over the weekend. A tie after double overtime. They say no more of that. It's a tie. It's Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Ottawa Red Blacks. 22-22.
Red Blacks.
Tie. There's CFL out there, folks.
Y'all, we also... I saw some people suggesting we take this energy to... I don't know, all sorts of random things. Like, y'all can't do this.
I would have taken it to DCI, except they decided to end that at the same time as the Olympics. Why'd they do that?
That was a really...
Why'd they do that there?
Congratulations, by the way, to you Bluecoats.
Blue.
DCI champions, Blue. The show that is absolutely amazing. Boston Crusaders came in 2. Blue Devils come in 3 because our friend Arch wasn't there. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh.
Y'all, I'm so hyped for the Paralympics right now.
Yes.
That's my other thing I'm also extremely on board for. And everyone was in our mentions talking about, well, if you guys need stuff coming out, Paralympics are starting. Not for 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, and then college football starts, too.
It's so long.
It's too much time.
Too much time.
I mean, I do understand, though, that, like, Paris probably needs, like, to recharge.
You have time.
Yeah, like I get it. I'm not. I want to be clear. Like I'm not trying to like I understand why they have this schedule.
But as always, I am Jordan. With me tonight, I have Commish, Beth, Pitt Girl, special guest, Correspondent Andrew, the Nebraska one, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Commish, how are you, sir?
Yeah, whose dog?
Yeah,
you got a dog.
That's PB. He's also joining in.
Oh, hi PB.
Mish, how are you, sir?
Oh, great. I had the in-laws in town, which they have bought a house in the same city as myself.
Great. So, sounds awesome. Love this.
Yeah. Sounds
Love this
great.
for you.
Yeah.
We're setting up for Everybody Loves Raymond. On board.
You know what would terrified me is when the house across the street went for sale.
Oh, no.
And they were looking for houses. And I was just like,
no.
oh, hell no. Please, no. But the PB was for it. But no, they bought a house. It's about maybe 10 miles away. So maybe like a 20-minute drive max. depending traffic. So, this weekend we were setting up the house, bringing over stuff. I became the technology liaison when supposedly my future brother-in-law was supposed to be the person in charge of all this technology. But yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I became the technology person after the mounting of the TV did not come out straight. I inherited the technology role from that point on. So,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
I've been entering passwords, email addresses, scanning QR codes, setting up Wi-Fi on all their devices. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
This is the most dangerous precedent you could possibly have started, and I am terrified for you.
Congrats on your new career in IT.
They've already called twice. So today since I left. So believe me, look. It was supposed to be the other two, and for some odd reason they failed, or if I don't know if they did it on purpose at this point to set me up.
I mean, that's what I would have done.
Possibly. But they did set up the TV, but they didn't set up the TV accounts and all that stuff. So even though the TV is a little hanging to the right, but yeah, if it's technology, it's fine because I'm probably going to be there with them. It's okay. And I showed them how to do it, even though they've called me twice since then, and they'll probably call in the middle of the podcast.
Did you write down their passwords for them?
Yeah, it's on a Post-it on the fridge with a picture of the kid's magnet.
Gotta laminate it. Gotta laminate that thing.
We were buying a laminator. Can we use the company card? Oh wait, no, that's fine. I'll just do it.
I have a laminator. I'll just mail you it.
Oh, son, can
Beth,
you laminate that envelope?
Yes.
Wait, you know how to mail stuff? How do you mail things? I can't.
No,
believe
we're not.
you know
No,
how to mail-
no.
You can't. You can't.
I am going
Sorry.
to find
Don't
that
do it.
guy.
Don't do it.
Not do
I
that,
will
just-
find him.
Beth, how are you?
So I did what any sensible person would do after the summer of many visitors that I have had in my home constantly. And I packed up Puddles and my mother and I mailed them to Idaho.
Good call.
Are they going to see the Kibby Dome?
I'm not sure if they will go to see the Kibby Dome. They are going to Pocatello.
Okay. So,
okay, yes.
So
Arena.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've asked if they want
Do
a
you
couple
want-
of fun places to stop by. Who can say?
There is something called Jerry's Jumbo Cafe for breakfast. They need to go there
Okay, I will
and
pass this along.
get something called a scone. And I want their reaction when they see this thing
Oh,
called
I
a
remember
scone.
this thing.
Yes.
I remember this thing.
Yes, do that.
Okay.
Pitt Girl, how are you?
I'm good. As folks who follow me on Twitter might know, or on Blue Sky, Obnoxiously Pitt Boyfriend and I went to a soccer bar to watch the women's gold medal match. And they opened early and we arrived when they opened. Because the last time we tried to go watch a game there for an event, it was the Men's World Cup. And we showed up right before the game was supposed to start and there was no parking. This time we showed up when they opened and we were the first people there, which was fine. And we sat and the bartender started our tab without taking our card because we were the only people there. Which is how, when we came to cash out at the end of the game, after the women won the gold medal, USA, we got the receipt and I found that she had put us in the system as hair couple.
which I mean, fair.
I saw it and laughed. And those of you who know what I look
you-
like and know what Obnoxiously Pitt Boyfriend look like,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Did they get a bigger tip than normal?
I think so.
Okay, I mean, because I feel like the hair couple, that's something you're hoping to get a good laugh out of and getting a better tip there. I hope
Yeah.
so.
The owner of the bar also gave us free t-shirts. Good bar.
Oh, nice.
Nice folks.
Pitt
And it was
Girl,
only $8 for a pitcher of Yingling.
Pitt Girl, you
Ooh.
have glorious hair, but Obnoxiously Pitt Boyfriend's hair is what I wish mine was so much.
His hair is what everyone wishes their hair was. Strangers stop him on the street, constantly to
That's-
compliment his hair.
That's a reasonable reaction.
Yeah. Gentle listener, Obnoxiously Pitt Boyfriend is ginger. and his hair is voluminous and wavy and probably as long as mine is, and mine is to my elbows. But obnoxiously, Pit Boyfriend is taller than I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's like what Mufasa wanted to be when he grew up.
Yeah. Andrew, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. As people who follow me on the socials know, just a couple of weeks ago, I rode my bike across Iowa, and that is all I'm going to talk about forever now. But as of today, my knee finally stopped hurting.
Okay,
so
that's good. I was about to say, how are your legs doing after that?
My legs are fine now. I still have carpal tunnel in my wrist, though.
From like holding the bike?
Yep. Okay. I cannot feel the fingers in my right hand. I'm hoping that comes back eventually.
I hope so, too.
Well, folks, we need to talk about the most important college football story ever. The fake news trying to keep Patriot Jim Harbaugh out of coaching.
Jim Harbaugh, innocente!
He is innocent. No crimes committed.
Except fully exonerated.
Exonerated. Oh. And that's for being exonerated. He got a 4-year show cause penalty, which includes, I believe, a 12-game suspension if he ever coaches in college again. But that's not going to be a problem.
Not going to be a problem. Likely not. Look, I'm going to laugh if like his stint at the Chargers, it's like 3 years and he's done. Yeah. And he goes back to college, but he has to get like a G5 job or something. And so like a G5 team hires Harbaugh.
San Diego's calling, baby. Torero's calling.
The Torero's, the FCS Torero, he goes back to where it all started.
This is just the beautiful, I need to find his lawyer statement. We'll vamp for a second because I got to find his lawyer statement.
I mean, we babbled it, right? And
I know.
I put a neon filter on it.
I got to find it.
But we've posted so many things in the last 3 days.
It's impossible to find anything that we've tweeted so much. Those folks that, listen to the podcast, what our Twitter account turns into once college football starts. The only problem is that we've gained probably a couple tens of thousands of followers over the offseason.
That's correct.
We are going to scare them the first full college football Saturday. Week 0, they're going to be like, hold on. I'm still remember the Faroese soccer club that we follow.
Yeah.
Had to DM us and be like, "Oh my God, you guys are insane."
Are you okay? No,
are you okay?
That's the point.
No,
I'm gonna have to mute you.
We're gonna have to mute you during the season on Saturdays.
Here's the statement from Jim Harbaugh's lawyer. Looks like it was made, honest to God, in paint.
We did this. Like it felt like something we made.
No, because I would have made it this look better.
I was just about to ask if you were Jim Harbaugh's lawyer. I guess you're not.
On top, okay, blue background, yellow text. Great. That's the kind of contrast we need here. Yes.
Doesn't even match the Chargers colors.
No. 2.
No Pantone.
On top, we've got a non-transparent PNG with a white background of the law firm name. Great.
Jail.
Love this. I've dropped it in the chat for you guys to see. Black title. This is all sans serif font, real blocky. Statement regarding NCAA COI decision. Text in yellow. The way I see it, from Coach Harbaugh's perspective, today's COI decision is like being in college and getting a letter from your high school saying you've been suspended because you didn't sign the yearbook. If I were in Coach Harbaugh's shoes and I had an $80 million contract as head coach of the Chargers, I wouldn't pay any attention to the findings of a kangaroo court which claims to represent the principles of the nation's most flagrant, repeat violator of federal antitrust laws. Boom.
Seems legit.
It's glorious. It looks like I said it was put together in paint. Is
the best part about something like this is having gone through most of my life surrounded by lawyers and lawyer adjacent folks. It's the kind of thing that when this showed up, a bunch of people were like, "Wow, is this legit?" And I took one look at it and said, this is the most legitimate thing I have ever seen. This absolutely came out of a law firm. I can think of a dozen law firms that would have released this exact thing and been like, guys, we nailed it. It's perfect. It evokes Sweden just enough.
I've had to deal with attorneys, namely injury attorneys. Mm-hmm. So this gives off billboard vibes, like on the sideway. I'm sorry, on the side of the interstate, not sideway. On the side of the interstate.
We're calling it that now.
We're calling it on the sideway of the interstate.
On a dark desert sideway.
That's right.
It is by far like my favorite thing I've seen in a long time. Oh, it's so good. Thank you, Harbaugh lawyer, for doing
Cold
this.
milk in my hands.
Again, this is not going to matter because he's never going to coach college again. Like, this is going to happen. So,
all right. I love that. I love one thing that he mentioned: the $80 million contract he has in the NFL. So that is $2 trillion. I can't even do it, man. It just changed on me. Hold on. Wow, the quote like just updated. Like, I gotta do that again. Hold on.
It's midday in Vietnam.
Oh my god.
Markets have been a little volatile lately.
It was a little bit volatile. All right. 2 trillion, 11 billion, 992,200,000 Vietnamese dongs.
Yep.
It changed live on me. Holy crap. I've never seen that.
That's a lot of dongs.
That's a lot of dongs. Folks, it is time for our final Olympics update. The Olympics, the games at the Paris Olympiad are finished. And now we are getting ready for LA 28. The closing ceremonies sent us to many places. We'll talk about that in a bit. But first, I just want to mention the U.S. won this Olympics and how many different ways the U.S. won this Olympics.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter how you like your medal tables.
Oh,
the U.S. wins this.
Oh, I'm just gonna give you this thing. There's a dispute from Chinese folks on Twitter right now.
Okay.
They say that their athletes had to travel further to the Olympics than the United States athletes, so they should get the tiebreaker. However, they only measured from New York City. They did not factor in we have athletes from Seattle, Washington, and like California themselves, which are
Hawaii,
further than China.
Alaska.
Yes.
American Samoa.
That's right. So it
They
says
have any athletes from there?
So they said the real tiebreaker, it says there are 987 medals. The athletes traveled 8.3 kilometers per medal. The U.S. athletes only had to travel 6.2 kilometers per medal.
I hate all of you. My camera is fuzzy. I'm trying to readjust it by putting my hand in front of it, and all these assholes are here waving at their cameras.
I didn't know what was going on.
Looking at you, we can now see how you see all the time.
That's true. So
hang on. If we all put our hands in front of our cameras, we can screenshot this and post it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's true.
Let me
hang on. I'll screenshot.
You got it. Okay, put it.
Give me 1 second. Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
I'll just see 6 white hands.
I really feel like the second 200 episodes is where we hit our stride.
I think so. This is where the humor really clicks. You can tell the industry is just on fire.
The first season's always rough.
Sorry.
Hey, whenever someone asks me
to
about Star
season
Trek
2 of Sicko's Committee.
200 episode seasons. We're like fucking Saturday Night Live. Sorry. Yeah. The thing that's fascinates me here, y'all, is that usually, like I said, we've talked about this before, the IOC in most places sort by gold medals. And there was a lot of sturm and angst over the last couple of days on whether the U.S. was going to win that table. Now, here in America land, we just sort by total medals because we win that all the time. That's just easier for us. But
Do we though? Because I feel like the only place I saw actually sorting by total medals was like NBC.
Mm-hmm.
It was sponsored. It was the Delta medal count, which even though we've gotten further from Delta completely melting down, still very funny to me that they had this huge corporate ad campaign centered around the Olympics that just happened to coincide with them melting down all over the country in terms of their flights.
I think most American newspapers do as well. I'm actually going to check.
I don't know.
So I've had both
New York Times
Google,
or Howard's listed both ways.
New York Times had a whole thing.
Yeah,
New York
they
Times
had a whole
thing. Yes.
interactive thing that if we were better at programming, we should have made.
That's exactly how I felt about it.
I mean, So I had Google, like when I Googled something, it would pop up in Google went by gold medals. And also like my own personal computer here that I'm recording this podcast on, that had like a little widget when I went to like log in every day that had the medal table, and that was also by gold. So I think it's just like a few like US media like going by total medals. Like pretty much everything else is golds.
There is a way which China does beat us. If you sort by total golds and then alphabetically, then yes, China wins. However, we don't do that here.
I mean, I feel like China is after America in the alphabet.
I was going to say, time to drop the United States.
We're just America. So so the other way to do it is total medals. But I've also, I ran so many numbers today.
Doesn't China start with a Z in Americanized Chinese?
It does.
Okay. See, we're learning things.
Republic of China? No, I'm sorry.
So if you want to count...
The People's Republic of China.
The
Republic of China is Taiwan.
That's French.
Well, the Olympics are very French. Thank you, Pierre de Coubertin.
So let's talk about other ways we can measure this. Well, what if we talk about medals, total medals per population? Not even total. Let's talk about medals per population. So this is by the medal counts number. If that's the case, Grenada wins this. They won 2 medals. They have a population of about 100,000 people. That's 1 medal for every 50,000 people. That's pretty impressive.
You have definitely met an Olympic medalist in your life.
So I'm trying to think about that. Like where on this list? I dropped the list in the chat, the top 20 at least. Like in New Zealand, there's 5,300,000 people, but they had 20 medals. And so that's 1 for every 266,000. You definitely would know someone. Like Tim down the street has a bronze. Other fun countries on here. Dominica.
On average, a human being will meet 80,000 people in their lifetime. May not talk to all of them, but that's the average.
Okay. So probably.
So that's like assuming like people you pass. That's including people you pass in crowds and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I assume all medalists have a tattoo on their face of their medal, or they wear their medal everywhere.
I mean, yeah, I would.
It's like a scarlet letter, but good.
You can often tell because this was a conversation I had with Obnoxiously Pitt boyfriend while we were at the soccer bar waiting for the soccer game to come on because they were showing diving and also breaking before the soccer game started. And there was a German diver who had, as many Olympians do, he had a tattoo of the Olympic rings. But his was interesting because he had a full sleeve and the rings were in the negative space.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's how you can tell.
If you decide you hate the Olympics, you just fill it in.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about like countries that sort of like did really well, not just the 1 or 2 medals per countries. New Zealand, really good. Hungary, 19 medals, population of about 9 million. Australia, 53 medals, population about 27 million. Netherlands, medals.
Australia actually shut up.
Can we talk about Australia here? They kept saying you got to sort it by per capita. You got to sort it by this. You got to sort it by that. You got it, and it was. Look, it's been going on. I don't know. And then I just saw everybody on our timeline on the committee just talking trash back to Australia, and I was like, what did Australia do? And then I started digging. I'm like, oh, okay, they're trying to claim, and I'm like, I see what they're doing, but I'm like, whatever, Australia. I love you. It's fine. You brought us Bluey. You're cool with me still.
If you want to look at the most number of animals that medaled, Great Britain and Germany are tied with 5.
Okay.
Horses.
And for pentathlon too, I'm guessing? Yes?
I didn't check the pentathlon medals.
Oh no.
The horses medals. The horses deserve medals.
The horses deserve
medals.
medals.
Also, the surfing whale. The surfing whale deserves a medal. I don't know what country.
Tahiti, it's French.
We're claiming the whale.
The international waters? Where
international
exactly
waters. The whale is an unaffiliated athlete.
Can we
yes.
put it on that neutral team?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The international.
Counting modern pentathlon, they are still tied.
Okay.
With
There you
five.
go.
All right, nice.
So what if we want to count total medals, like every medal handed out?
Every medal.
So this is not 100% accurate. There's still some gaps in the data. This is close. The U.S. won 327 total medals. That is not quite double second place France with 186, but like we piled it on quite a bit here. This includes 131 gold, 101 silver, and 95 bronze. We'll talk about that about whether a bronze is going to be there or not later on. You talked about team gymnastics. In this table, if you sort by golds, Netherlands jumps up because Netherlands had 66 total gold medals to China's 60 total golds.
What team sport did Netherlands win?
They won a lot of I think they won a couple of relays and things like that.
Okay.
It's another just fascinating way to look at that. People were then asking me, well, what if you took that number and did it per capita? Okay, got that. So Fiji jumps way up because they have 14 silvers for their rugby sevens team with a population of about 893,000 million. Please no. France also jumps way up because they have 186 total medals for a population of 68 million. So some of these things move around. New Zealand, once again, super high, 5th place on this table.
Keep in mind, too, that can turn into really wild things with relay teams because not only do the people who swim in the finals in the relay get medals, but everybody who swam in qualifiers also gets medals.
Yeah.
Also true for running. There is a 16-year-old American guy who's a gold medalist because he ran in the qualifiers for the 4x4.
Yep.
He's got to go to school in 2 weeks. Back
That's
to high
messed
school.
up. That's messed up. I feel like you shouldn't have to go to school. That should be get out of school.
He's got the best what I did on my summer vacation essay.
I want to say the best first day of school outfit because I am definitely wearing
100%.
medal.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed.
I mean, so here's my take.
This little thing.
My take on age or whatever. I think that you should not be allowed to do the Olympics until you've finished doing college essays and college admissions.
Oh, because otherwise this is just easy of a trump card.
So listen, I'm not at all concerned about the actual kids. But can you imagine the parents of a teenage Olympian?
Yeah. So at one point in my weird career, I worked at redacted Ivy League school in their division of education that rostered all of the non-traditional students. And one of the big things that I dealt with was Olympians. Many, 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 many Olympians. And yeah, their parents are a trip.
Imagine. So then someone asked me, well, what if we did total medals per number of athletes sent to the Olympics? And I dropped that as well. Botswana comes in first here.
Yeah.
They basically averaged 2/3 of a medal per athlete.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive.
That's some Legends of the Hidden Temple shit.
Right.
I mean, that relay race that they ran against the US, they almost, I don't know how the US guy held him off for the gold. I was like, he's going to overtake him. He's going to overtake him. Going to overtake me. It just didn't happen. I was like, you thought for sure it was coming, but the US runner, I think that was the 4x4.
I believe 4x4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the men fucked it up in the 4x1 again.
Yeah, that's classic, but that's expected. So at this point,
the U.S. gets about a little over half a medal per athlete. We sent 592 athletes and came home with 327 medals.
That's so
St. Lucia, 4 athletes, 2 medals, baby.
Hell yeah.
Fucking efficient.
So here's my question, and this is what we need to work on next. We need to figure out if we take all of those medals and remove all of the pieces of the Eiffel Tower, how tall is the Eiffel Tower that we can construct with those pieces of the Eiffel Tower?
Oh, this is a real piece of the true cross kind of thing. We're going to be able to make 4 Eiffel Towers with the pieces of the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
North Korea, super efficient.
And we'll put it on the mall next to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial.
There's space there.
Yeah.
Great Britain does very well in this metric. Netherlands does very well in this metric. Kyrgyzstan does very well in this metric. 16 athletes, 6 medals. I also want to shout out to Uzbekistan. Had like a quietly amazing Olympics. They had 10 gold medals total before this Olympics. They got 8 this time, and all in combat sports.
Yeah. Shout out to Tashkent. I don't know why we always bring up Uzbekistan on the podcast. Are we just happy that we have Uzbekistani listeners and we want to expand that market?
Also, now I think we have definitive proof that if we don't do that, they'll kick our ass.
Honestly, because they won in all the combat sports. So don't beat us up. Don't beat us up, Uzbekistan. We love you.
So the way we thought we'd talk about the rest of this Olympics, like this last week and sort of our memories of it, is we'll go sort of round robin on this. People just get to jump in with like the thing that makes them happiest right now.
Well, no, we want to do.
He wants to do the draft. Okay.
So like the difference between what you said and what I said.
That's not a draft.
One is a snake draft, another's a round robin. I mean, that we got to keep.
You want an actual
rounds?
Okay,
right? Like we got to do a snake draft. So whoever gets the first pick is also not going to get to pick for a while. Like you're gonna, you might get a real good one, but then you might have to wait.
Sure. Okay, I'll randomize order real fast. Got it. Okay, Pitt Girl, you are up first.
Oh, I had a feeling I was going to go first. I don't know why I had this feeling. But I have eternal squirrel brain, so I will just take this moment to appreciate and also feel slightly bad for the French women's basketball team for chucking up a buzzer beater to tie the game, but it was not actually a 3 because she was standing on the line. That is unfortunate for you, France, and I feel bad for both of your basketball teams to a degree, but also USA. Very enjoyable. I did really enjoy, like truly enjoy watching the medal ceremonies for both the men's and women's basketball gold medal games and the French fans just singing La Marseillaise. Like, French sports fans, I didn't know you were like this. I love you. You have college football energy, and I love that about you.
If you ever get a chance to watch League, make them say, which is now called McDonald's League,
Is it really?
Yes. It used to be.
That's got to be an upgrade for them, right?
It used to be Uber Eats League,
Yeah,
but so it isn't. You can get McDonald's on Uber Eats. It works. But
the Royale with
cheese League, but no, but they are wild fans, and coming to that, there is one team. I think it's Marseille. My God, I think it's there. You don't want to play there because there's going to be flares. There's going to be stuff thrown at it. It's extremely hostile. So, but they have a lot of college football energy based on their football, and they're the kind of the European football scene. That they jokingly call them a farmers league, which I would say you could jokingly say that it's a G5 league energy there, but it's kind of just like, no, they bring it, and when you have to play in France, they are bringing the energy.
So they're the Fun Belt.
It seems that way. Yes, Monroe, Louisiana, the Fun Belt capital. Is there a Monroe? It is New Orleans. You got a little Cajun, raising Cajuns in France.
Andrew, what's yours?
We're just things we appreciated about the Olympics, right?
Yeah, if you want to talk about something that's recent or in the past or whatever.
I'm gonna go with. I just appreciated how much fun Snoop Dogg and Flava Flav were having.
Yeah.
Shout out to the women's water polo team.
Yep, I'm going to appreciate our USA mascots to Paris, Snoop Dogg and Flava Flav.
I love also the fact that Snoop was like an ongoing mascot, and then he played a significant role in the closing ceremony, which was much better than Tom Cruise getting a lot of like crowd shots in various games and everybody being like, why are you showing us Tom Cruise? And then him playing a role in the closing ceremony. Snoop has committed to the bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Snoop would dress up. I love that. Me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Since it's a draft, I don't know what's coming back to me. I'm
just
gonna
take it. Take the pick.
Let's just do it. Let's go. Gun to my head. I am definitely going that way. It's breaking. We watched.
I did not realize that it was like a one-on-one fight. I didn't realize that there are rules about, like, while someone else is dancing, you're encouraged to react to their dancing. I did not realize that you have to freeze at your opponent and make eye contact for it to count.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right?
So, no. When we covered the World Games in Birmingham, like in 2022, I watched breaking a ton for some odd reason, because, again, it's in the middle of the summer. There was nothing going on. I watched, like, orienteering. I watched the World Games like crazy. So breaking was at the games, and I knew that they were going to bring it to the Olympics. So the whole thing was like these athletes that do this, and I'm calling them athletes. You can give me crap or flack, yell at the podcast.
No one that listens to this is going to yell at that.
I'm just saying, if that happens, if breaks contain or whatever, because we're talking about RAYGUN, but
it requires so much athleticism, though.
It is. So the breaking, like, you have to do like these crazy, incredible acrobatic moves, which you saw from the men, the B-boys and the B-girls, like at the top, doing these moves. Like, this is incredible. Like, it's almost like gymnastics it's not like rhythmic gymnastics, but it's you could maybe call it like street gymnastics a little bit, because you're doing things to like a beat. You're contorting your body into crazy positions, and you have to be able to hold these positions, which is very, very difficult. Now let's go right ahead, and I enjoyed the battle. Amy, she won in the World Games. Also the girl from Lithuania, Dominika, I believe, was, if I said that correctly, sorry. She got the silver. Yeah.
Talk about these names, because they don't go by their names. They go by their B-boy or B-girl names.
That's right.
And not only do they go by their B-boy or B-girl names, but the judges do too, which is how I learned that there was a judge from Korea named Virus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it Cyrus the Virus?
No,
it's just Virus.
Virus.
B-boy Virus.
And so, like, there's...
Hope he doesn't run into B-boy McAfee.
A lot of the tweets...
Good thing that wasn't at the Tokyo Games.
Ooh.
True, that probably, good. The World Games in Birmingham, probably more acceptable at the Diamond 2022. But really, this kind of took on its own viral thing to it, not the virus thing, but it took its own virility to the competition. They're like, why is this in the Olympics? I mean, it's very athletic, but it all focused on like one Australian B-girl by the name of RAYGUN, which is a play on her name, Rachel Gunn.
Rachel Gunn.
I was getting to the doctor part. So she has a PhD. I went down the rabbit hole on RAYGUN because, I mean, this is the SICKO's committee. This is what the commission is going to do. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole. She has a BA in contemporary music from 2009, and she also has a PhD in cultural studies. So she has a doctorate, and she is in the Olympics with a PhD. Breaking.
What was the PhD in, though?
So the PhD was in cultural studies.
But what was the dissertation?
Okay. So if you want to go into this, her dissertation and her thesis, my God. Let me find this real quick. The thesis, it related to the systems of relay in doing cultural studies, experimenting with the body without organs, in quotes, in B-girling practice. Also, she has academia published works in a book. She has a full chapter called The Nocturnal Paradox, How Breakdancing Reveals the Potentials of the Night.
It's great. It's great.
And then there's another one. It says, where the hashtag B-girls at, politics of invisibility in breaking culture.
Yes. all of her research is 100% legit. It's all good, like anthropological, sociological research.
What I'm hearing is Jordan needs to be in the next Olympics. That's what I'm hearing.
This is what, like some folks have posited that this person got into the Olympics as some sort of like experiment, like a breaching experiment to experiment the culture of breaking, because in her writing, she writes that she cannot experiment in the breaking culture because she has a normal job. She has to do lectures at Macquarie University in Australia. She has to do all of these different things. I did want to mention one thing here, though, about her, is that she met her husband, who is a fellow breakdancer by the name of Samuel Free, at university in 2008. And that is a freaking movie right there. It's a Julia Stiles movie, I think, right? Is that the one? Step Up to the Streets? Yes.
I'm not up on that kind of movie. I'm only up on movies where people jump out of an airplane and
Jean-Claude Van Damme, the
Olympic
dancing move that he
somewhere.
did in that. What movie was he dancing?
I don't know. But I mean, I just want to say, like, I feel like the internet has been like too mean to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like, there are a lot of Olympic athletes that go to the Olympics and are not particularly competitive in their sports, right? Like the Olympics, beyond just having the best of the best, there's certain ideals where, like, we want to have representation. We want to have people from all over the world, even if it's a sport that is maybe, the best athletes are in that sport are concentrated in a certain place. We still want to have that representation. It's just that a lot of times you don't see them, right? Like, you typically don't see like the very first round of like the swimming events or the sprints, right? Like, those don't get a lot of attention. So no one is really making a big deal like, oh, there's someone from, a country that is, doesn't really have a background in this sport, and like there's someone from that country that's off the pace. Like, no one really cares about that. And I think people are kind of accepting that it is, like we're trying to get more people in, we're trying to grow sports, we're trying to make people represented. Now, when you have a sport like breaking, which is only in this Olympics, there's a reason that it hasn't been in previous Olympics and it will not be in the next one, is that it is not that established as a sport. So you don't necessarily have the depth where, you want to pull a certain number of people on the men's and women's side. And, it just happens that you just don't have the depth to have a ton of really good people. But honestly, like, I watched breaking. I hope it comes back at some point. Like, I know it's not going to be in 2028. I hope it comes back at some point, because it was engaging to watch.
2032 is going to be in Brisbane, Australia. So everybody making fun of the Australian breaker, the 36-year-old doctor, which I'm going to give it this here. Like, she tried to be innovative. She tried to do like her signature move, which was the kangaroo, which I think somebody tweeted that it looked like when I smell a delicious pie cooling on a window.
My favorite was the Thriller, but yeah, sure.
Yes, there was the Thriller, the delicious pie thing.
Yeah, the T-Rex. I got a really good Twitter meme of her with a dino nugget.
Yep.
I mean, we can maybe put a Razorback nugget there, but she could be embracing the hog while doing the kangaroo. But really, it's like, for her, she's 36. She's competing against like the Lithuanian girl who was 17. Yep. And she could not physically compete against them. I mean, seriously, if I tried to do one of the moves, like, she stood on her head. If I tried to do that, I would snap my neck. But just putting it out there, it's crazy. She won the Oceania competition.
I was going to say that. Like, she's won. It wasn't like she just got brought in. Like, she won a competition to get there.
I mean, also the other piece here is that we may have talked about this on this show. I don't remember. But in 2022, there was like a ski half pipe, I think, person who like barely qualified, did not do any tricks, basically only got there because they were a rich person who was like interested enough to do all the things that they needed to do to qualify and then
That
like
that
not be
happens
very
in the
good.
Winter Olympics.
That happens a lot in the Winter Olympics, right?
Yeah.
And so this is, I would argue, better than that because she at least has interest in the thing and is like an academic, like she has clearly demonstrated interest in this sport, even though her execution is different than a lot of other people's. That is like not true of that skier that I was just talking about, who was just there basically to say that she had made the Olympics, right?
I feel like with the number of like 7th year athletes we have now in like college football, like I feel like we should have more people with doctorates playing our sports.
Definitely. We need doctor quarterbacks. Like we definitely need that. We should have last
Jordan,
year.
how much eligibility do you have left?
Absolutely none.
We should have gotten like Dr. JT Daniels at Rice last year. We should have gotten that. We definitely should have gotten that. If you're a 7th year quarterback, or like the tight end from Miami who's in his 9th year, it needs to be doctor. You need to be Dr. tight end. I forgot his name off the top of my head, which people will remind me, guaranteed. But yes, you want to go in depth, like just putting yourself out there. Jordan, if you had an opportunity as a doctor, and let's say like some sort of band event was in there, and your thesis focused on the intersection of gender and Sydney's breaking culture. No, I'm just kidding. That was her. But in your thesis, you're trying to get your doctorate or whatever, forces you to go to the Olympics. Are you going to do it and put yourself on that stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you not?
Why wouldn't you do it? That's
your life. There's literally no reason not to.
Yeah. So
can I?
While it was funny, there was reason behind it.
I want to talk real fast about the judging and breaking because it's really fascinating. The judging and breaking, they give the judges these like tablets, and I'll drop the screenshot of what they use in there in the chat. But basically, they have sliders for technique, vocabulary, which is sort of like the moves you use, originality, execution, musicality. And literally while watching the dance, they do it by touch and slide these back and forth from left to right. It's split into like a blue side and a red side.
Wow.
And it's you sort of like, it's like live action, those stupid cruddy dials that they use on, they're the little dials they use when people watch speeches and like people reacted to that and people turn the dials. It's the exact same thing here, except you can adjust all these things. And so this is head to head, like I said, but they do it like by percentages and by, oh, I'm feeling a little more left, feeling a little more right on this one, which I think is a fascinating way to judge things in a Olympics where, gymnastics gives this very specific point number and these dudes are just like sliding it around. And also, like I've mentioned before, vibes based sports, the vibes on this sport were immaculate. Everyone was having a goddamn great time.
It was great.
Okay, it's my turn to pick something. I would like to talk about I'm going to talk about my aluminum medal table real fast. Basically, I've been tracking 4th place finishes. Italy wins overall with 26 fourths. USA comes in second with 22. France with 20. I think the real surprise here was Hungary with 14. They didn't send a ton of people, but man, they came in 4th an awful lot. Italy seemed really committed to this bit, y'all. I won't lie. It feels like every time I pulled something up, France you get because they're
in everything. They were in everything.
But
I'm
Italy,
surprised they didn't win it.
Italy less so, but they seemed very committed to the bit of always coming in 4th, and I'm very proud of them.
I'm angry at Great Britain because I wanted them to win this so we could make it into the aluminium table.
Yeah.
People
But,
also
again, my Italian family is proud, so we're good.
People noticed that China slid off this list as well, which again just gives people more USA vibes on this.
Sorry.
Yeah, and if I could shout out a particular 4th place finish for Italy, it was in one of the women's distance races. I forget which one. An Italian woman, she finished 4th, like at the line as they crossed it. Then the officials went through and disqualified I think the runner that finished either 2nd or 3rd. I forget which one. But then they appealed that and then they reinstated her, sending the Italian runner back down to 4th.
Aye.
Arthur, what's your moment?
Okay, so I guess the first one I'll pick here. This is tough because I have a lot of good ones on my draft board here. But I'm going to err towards something that happened recently rather than something that we've already mentioned. I am going to go specifically with Steph Curry hitting those last two shots.
Yeah.
The one over Wemby, who's like 7'4", and then the one where he's completely double teamed.
Yep.
And he shoots it anyway.
Such a high arcing shot.
Yeah, like he had to shoot that way differently than a normal three. And it's still like just money.
Rattled in. That's right. Perfect.
Yeah. And like it's interesting though, like the vibes from the men's team versus the women's team for USA basketball, where the men's team, like France gave them a good game, but like at the end of the day, it felt like a coronation for especially Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. And for the women's team, it's like, oh well, they got one away. You know, they got away with one there, and just the vibes from that men's team. I said it a couple weeks ago that in the past, like recent Olympics, I've been kind of lukewarm on the men's basketball just because, you know, the US, like we haven't sent our best. We've had kind of teams of like, okay, like who wants to go? Like still all-stars, but like it hasn't been the headliners we saw this time. And then on top of that, like they were legitimately pushed. They had to come back against Serbia.
Yeah.
France was in that game the whole time. They had to work for it. And so it was like, I mean, like I described it already. Like it was like an all-star game where people are actually trying. Like we got to see LeBron, Steph, Kevin Durant all play together.
Yep.
And like there were stakes. Like this meant something to them. And, you know, it's something that, you know, I would put it up there with like the 2016 finals in that it's something that I'm going to say is like, this is probably the high point for like what I'm going to see from this competition.
I'm going to disagree with you on the finals, but, you know, I'm a little bit older than you. It's fine. So I love this, like the team itself, having to come back from being down 17 against Serbia. Just on a personal level, like this is kind of like my era of the NBA. This seems like the, not necessarily like the curtain call, but like the final like act of this era. Like they're going to give way soon to the next era of the NBA, and them pulling this off. And just, it seemed like LeBron's beard and hair got grayer and grayer by the game. And just seeing the gray spots and them going through all of that. And then my fun part of the final game was when Steph went off for like the 4 straight threes in the final 3 minutes of the game. The French commentary.
Yes.
If you got the French commentary, they were calling Steph Curry the devil. They were calling him the devil.
French sports commentators are incredibly dramatic.
The devil
should surprise no
one.
one.
The devil Steph Curry is hurting the French team. And it was just like he made the one, you know, the 1-3, like a couple of them he faked out, and then the one to like basically the golden dagger, so to speak, which I really miss the Mike Breen bang when he would have hit that one. Now it'd have probably been like a triple bang or whatever that he's never unleashed, which I mean he did for Ray Allen in that finals against the Spurs. Which is a little bit extra sweet because I am a Miami Heat fan living in San Antonio for me. So that is my finals, Arthur. So yes, that is just incredible. And then like the French commentator reaction, it was like incredible. Like they were just so like, oh, I was like, just could not believe that it went in. It was absolutely amazing. It was a joy to watch. I'm glad I set up the Wi-Fi at the in-laws house because I was watching it on my phone when that happened, and I kind of like got up and nobody knew what was going on, which was fantastic.
I loved listening to other players on Team USA who are like, holy shit, it's way more fun when Steph Curry is on your team.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been on the other side of it and it fucking sucks, but this is great.
Oh yeah, like I saw people experiencing that as fans too.
Yeah.
Like, man. Whew.
Okay. Beth, what do you got? What's your
So,
moment?
you guys have taken a bunch of mine, but it got me to thinking about how much fun it was to watch sport climbing, which is now
Yes.
which is a permanent part of the Olympics now. This was
Yes!
like it's rubber year. So Sam Watson's climb for the bronze that set the world record, like, it breaks my brain. I used to climb a lot, and I can't do anything remotely like that. If I tried to do that, I would eat shit so hard it's not even funny. Like, he actual Spider-Mans, and it makes me so happy. I love watching it. I've watched that on loop like probably 40 times at this point.
Context for the listener, this is the like speed climbing part where they basically just run up a very tall wall.
Yep, and there's 2 matching walls, and it's 2 people literally just race to the top.
It was so impressive.
It's so
to watch.
cool.
Beth,
And
you get the next. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the next one that I would pick, I think, is let me scroll and make sure I have the right race, because I'm on hour 4.5 of podcasting today.
Beth, while you scroll, what if we put the ad break in?
That'd be great.
Sounds good. As always, folks, you can check out our link tree on our Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky profiles. That has a lot of our various discounts for various partners. We have our Patreon and our Discord. Our Patreon, pay $5 a month, get access to our Discord, get access to our special podcasts, including Commish's Corner, Yes, Rah Rah Yes, and Jordan Junction, and the entirety of the Prairie View Chronicles. I'm going to come up with a jingle for that. In our Discord, we yell about games, we holler about the Olympics and lots of other stuff. We do our research in there too, so feel free to join. We're going to push that a lot more as we get closer to the season. If you want a place to chat about college football or to holler about it, but don't want to deal with just the deluge of Twitter, the Discord is the place to go. It was started to do things like that, and it's really a great place to be.
It's a really friendly place. We're not, again, we're accepting of everyone. Just don't be a jerk or an idiot while you're in the Discord. But it's a great place to just enjoy college football without all the extra nonsense that could come with the Twitter, so to speak.
Yes. We also have our merch store with over 50 items. Commish has gone on a complete tear through there, including our great, it's the trucker hat, the punt.
Oh, it just says nice punt.
Love it.
I actually ordered a sample for myself. I immediately, as soon as I made the design, it's a foam trucker hat, which it just says nice punt in like a synthwave thing with our little logo on the printed trucker hat. And anything in our store, the most expensive thing we have in our store is like $22 or $23. So we have so much stuff. We'll add some hoodies later on in the year, but we have over 50 items ready to go. Stickers, koozies, mugs. I mean, you name it, we got it. I'm going to add some more crazy stuff, but I just haven't designed it yet. But I got 50 and I was like, I need to do more. And I'm like, okay, I'll do more a little bit later. I'm sorry, I got to set up my in-laws Wi-Fi.
I feel like we got to get something for the ballers, though. Like, we got to get something that I can drop like a lot of money on.
I'll get something in there. There's some stuff that I can get you, like, if you want like an Under Armour branded SICKO's hoodie, I have that option. If you want the most incredibly scratchy Adidas polo, I can get you that, Beth. I can do that for you. I'm going to get that for you. I'm coming in a month.
We're also on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitch. We're on Substack as well, where we're going through our previews as well on there, where we can tell you one thing to learn about for each season, one thing to look forward to or think about. We also shout out to the Message Board Geniuses podcast. They are the places we refuse to go. And lastly, SICKO's Committee and Home Field Apparel. Use offer code YES, yes, 3 HOTS for 15% off your first order. And the platinum boxes look absolutely amazing.
Yes.
They're great. They got a championship collection coming out on Monday, which will be the day before. 1984 Montana State. So they're going to have some championship editions. I think I saw 1999 Florida State. I mean, you know, there was 2014, maybe, you know.
Hey, Prime members, have you heard? You can listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces. Plus, they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
So, folks, going on from there, Beth, we're back to you in our draft.
So the next thing I'm going to pick is the 4x100 relays. That's right, relays.
Oh,
because
God.
my very favoritist thing in all of the track racing events is the men's long-held loving tradition of tripping over their own dicks in this race, and just how freaking awesome the women are.
Listen, wouldn't be the first in the Olympics to get tripped up by their own.
This is true.
Hey-o!
But yeah,
Jordan, hit the horn button, please.
Oh, sorry.
There we
I was
go.
gonna say we don't even have a rim shot
I
button or
mean, we
anything.
gotta have some more. Jordan, you're slacking on the soundboard. I'm very disappointed.
Okay.
The novelty
Okay.
is already worn
Okay,
off.
everyone, clip right now. It was at 1:10 in this recording. Commish said, "I'm disappointed you in the soundboard. You're slacking."
Yeah, I don't like this.
Okay, cool.
Look, I've sent you
Hey, boss,
messages.
I
and
hear
DMs.
you.
I need more sounds.
Boss, I
More.
hear you. Boss, I hear you loud and clear.
Give me,
Sicko's Committee Morning Zoo.
give me more.
Okay. Hey,
Let's
All I'm
go.
hearing is that Jordan is not a responsible steward of the soundboard, and that I should be the steward of the
I
soundboard.
mean, seriously,
Okay.
give me the soundboard. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm going
Oh,
to start just sending everybody soundboards for their birthdays. I'm just a soundboard distribution system.
Competing honks.
But like,
Right.
I loved the turn. I loved the comeback in the women's race. It was absolutely
It was
awesome.
great.
And I love the fact that the men are just a fucking disaster in this race.
They
And
just be dropping the baton. And Carl Lewis.
people are like,
so mad.
Carl Lewis is mad. Like,
Carlos.
y'all, Carl
furious
Lewis
on
was
Twitter.
mad in the previous one, and the one before that, it's like which version of mad Carl Lewis are we going to get this time?
Have men considered being better? My
Yeah.
column.
you can
Don't
tell.
drop that shit. It's yellow.
U.S. men bad at sharing. News at 11.
You can tell the teams that work together versus the teams where it's just like the 4 fastest guys. And sometimes the 4 fastest guys works, except when like the tiniest little thing just breaks down. It's
Yes. Like they should have to practice with like a priceless Fabergé egg.
Mhm.
They're so bad at this.
You would think not, but yes.
Don't worry. Next time in the next Olympics, so what they're going to
Oh,
do
they got this.
is they're
In
going to
LA,
put
they got it.
they're going to put the 4 fastest guys together, and they'll pick them like the day before. Don't worry about it because they're
It'll
the 4
work.
fastest guys, so it's going to work. This is going to be great.
This
Gonna
is
work. It's gonna be great.
some Oakland Raiders bullshit.
I
is
hate
the
it
Oak-
here.
This is
This
the
is
Oakland-
Al Davis
Al Davis
presents.
is the track and field coach for the relay.
They have a picture of Al Davis before they walk out of the tunnel.
The ghost of John Madden right now is just swearing.
Well, I mean, so I've seen people talking about this, and I think they've brought up a interesting point in that just the battle to make Team USA as a sprinter is so cutthroat, and it's that is so much of the competition that maybe that does put us at a disadvantage in the relays, right? Like where if you have a country that doesn't have the kind of depth and the kind of competition internally that we have, you can have an easier time setting up your relay team and having like everyone has a lot of practice working together and it's all cohesive. And, our approach, I think when you look at the success in pretty much every other track event has been kind of shown to be pretty good, but maybe, having so much competition is that maybe that's a negative in that situation.
Give him the stick. No, don't give him the stick.
Oh, he's not ready. No.
Arthur, you're up.
Okay, so this is tough because I have 7 things on my draft board, and
Oh my God.
the only one I took my top thing on the draft board. Nothing else on my draft board has been taken, so I have to prioritize.
Oh.
I'm going to skip things that we've already talked about because they happened earlier. And I am going to go with. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with the French crowds.
Yeah.
And specifically the French crowds when Marchand was swimming breaststroke.
Yes.
Where, because especially coming off of 2 straight Olympics with very limited crowds due to the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
The crowds in Paris were great. And, there were a lot of celebrities that you saw, right? I mean, John Travolta.
Evil John Travolta, Charlie Wax from Paris with Love.
Yes. But, there were those people there, but it felt like any event you had, especially when there was a French athlete competing, like it was electric. I mean, the French fans did a great job showing up, and it was probably, I mean, again, most notable when Marchand was swimming the breaststroke. Every time he took a breath, they would cheer like very briefly, right? And then as soon as he went back underwater, they would stop. Like it was very synchronized. I loved that. And I know, right, like hosting the Olympics, if you are a resident of Paris, like you have to put up with a lot of shit to do that. And so I'm just happy that it, like, at least some portion of the French populace, had a good time and got something out of that, man. Like, shout out to them. They were great.
The French crowd in the fencing arena was absolutely phenomenal. Yep. Like the fencing and like the venue they used for the fencing.
That was so cool.
Was so cool. It was so amazing. Yes. It was amazing. The Seine River, not so much.
Yeah.
Sen.
While we're talking about French crowds, it was a sign not to
use it. Sorry.
While we're talking about French crowds, I do also want to talk about the French basketball fans really committing to the bit of booing Joel Embiid whenever they got the opportunity to do so. I love that hater energy so much. It's
and
Joel
so good. Embiid.
It's giving Oakland Zoo. I love
it. The DX to the crowd itself.
Very good. I'm up next. I think I'm going to throw mine in this time for something that happened recently, the Steeplechase.
Yes.
Yay.
The U.S. men getting silver, which wasn't expected at all. They did not preview this guy in the whole thing. Like, not a word about it.
I love not a word about it, the American. Then the American comes out of nowhere and wins it. Or second,
So he came in second. He was around the back of the pack for a long time. He was pushing really good, but what definitely helped was someone tripping on one of those goddamn steeples, like those hurdles, and just
recycled balance beam.
He's fine.
Is that guy okay? Because it seemed like he wasn't okay.
I don't think he was okay at the time. I think he got knocked out, but he's
okay now. Okay.
Yeah, it was Ethiopia's Germa. He's carried off of a stretcher. They went to him in the hospital a couple of days later, and he seemed to be okay. But it was very, very scary. You don't really see anything like that happen ever in the steeplechase.
That many people running next to each other, jumping over a hurdle into water is like claustrophobia, frightening, inducing for a lot of my fears. In terms of, I have very bad proprioception. Like, I'm not very good in space. So the idea of having to jump over something next to people also makes me just panic.
I love the concept of this race still. Like, I love that they still do this.
You
just jump over big things into water. Yeah.
No. Like, the concept of this race was like from town to town. The
Right.
only thing you see in the towns is the steeple. I love it.
And
I love that they still do this.
When we talk about like, wow, they didn't even preview this guy and he medaled, there's only been 7 Americans that have medaled in steeplechase ever.
Oh yeah, no, ever. This is not our
We had somebody who got silver in Rio. Then you go 84, 68, 52, 32, and 1920. We have one gold ever, and it's during the Eisenhower administration.
It's a wild thing that
Ike likes steeplechase, apparently.
Like that we're just not good at. Like track that we're not good at is wild to me because we're like, you just get used to, we do everything well. And when honestly, there's a couple things where we're just like, oh no, we don't do that at all. No, that's
Sorry, we're not doing that. We're not touching
just look up last American marathon winner.
Oh yeah, I mean that's never ever going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, the steeplechase was wild. It was great. I love that event. Glad everyone's okay. Next up, Commish.
All right, I'm just gonna shout out Gold Zone.
Yep.
Just as Gold Zone, Peacock. Gold Zone was just for the multi-view, the way that they were able to cover the Olympics of every single event made it honestly feel like that's right, PB. That's right, PB. You know it. Shout out to Scott Hansen, PB. I'll give you that. But the way they were able to cover the Olympics made it feel like there was so much stuff going on, and it gave so much shine to so many different events at the same time. I mean, you got you could see like the argument between like the Canadian and Brazilian team, and beach volleyball turned into like John Lennon Imagine going on at the same time. And then like they just flash to like, here's another race doing something here. It was incredible. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that for LA because we're going to be in the same time zones.
But they're going to have to, because one, you can't show everything. 2, they'll put the important stuff on in primetime anyways, but they'll still do this because
there'll be a lot of stuff running from like 10 a.m. LA time, 9 a.m. LA time to whenever.
There's gonna be some stuff in Oklahoma City, so there will be.
I assume we're all going to Oklahoma City to cover that.
I mean, if kayak cross is there, Commish is there.
Get in, loser. We're watching canoe slalom.
We're all getting credentialed for the Olympics.
Just to watch canoe slalom. Done. Statement.
This is the idea that they showed everything live. No more of this, we're going to hold some shit back. Okay, but if you're on Twitter, you can find out so easily who won. It's a spoiler anyways. It doesn't matter. And so the idea that they just showed everything, we're like, fuck it, we're just going to put everything on, was amazing. That's not difficult to do nowadays, but for some reason we had just gotten so stupid about it. I remember watching certain Olympics for the Canadian VPN because they would just, especially the Winter Olympics, because they would just show everything. As opposed to the US where it was like, well, you can get a little of this maybe. And this year
they got everything. And they got like record ratings.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like it didn't hurt them at all that it was like available.
It's worth noting that like part of the reason for the record ratings is the prevalence of streaming, a friendlier time zone. Like there are reasons for that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've had the last 2 Olympics were bad time zone. The last 3 Olympics were bad time zone. Shit. Back to Pyeongchang, back to Tokyo, back to Beijing. There's been 3 bad time zones in a row, plus 2 with COVID, where the crowds were like, and the whole thing was, So this was a tour de force in a lot of ways. Anyways, yes, I love you, Gold Zone.
I can't wait. The Olympic quad box was just a preview for coming up soon. College football, the quad box.
Okay. Quad box.
You're gonna need to get that reverb back in the soundboard, Jordan.
I cannot live. I mean, I guess I can click one. Okay. Okay, fine. Hey.
Like you can just record Commish.
I don't want to hear. I can't, Jordan.
You are gonna regret so much.
I can't wait to regret everything.
I'm yay. Okay. Time to stamp this. Andrew, you're next.
All right, I am going to give a shout out to our boy Mondo Duplantis.
Yes.
I know
Mondo,
he represented. I know he represented Sweden,
he's
but
the
he is
Cajun
also an
Swede.
American.
He is the IKEA and Lafayette that they don't have yet.
Did you see the clip of him doing an interview on Swedish television?
I don't think I did.
Oh, this is amazing. He is like, this is after he won the gold medal, and he is like speaking in Swedish, which is his second language, and he is very clearly violently hungover.
Oh, I saw the hungover clip. I didn't know it was in Swedish. Okay.
Yeah.
You just thought he was that drunk?
No, I didn't. I didn't have the. I couldn't turn the sound on.
No,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
even just looking at him without the sound, you can tell that he's just like the most hungover anyone has ever been. And as an LSU alumnus, I would expect nothing less.
Commish, at some point we need you to list off a couple of IKEA items in your Cajun voice.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I want to give out.
Commish reads the IKEA catalog.
Can I give a shout out to Mondo Duplantis? His world record hack.
I was going to give him a bonus shout out for that. So go ahead.
Go ahead. So Mondo Duplantis has a world record hack, which Arthur was like, "Why don't you just set the world record higher? You know you can do it better." But so for any major tournament that he goes into in pole vaulting, every athlete that breaks a world record, they receive $100,000. So for each time Mondo Duplantis breaks his own record, he gets a whole lot richer. Rather than smash his record once and make $100,000, the Swede, the Cajun man, Mondo Duplantis, seemingly made the genius decision to break it, but only just so that he can break it again, then again, and then again. That's
I
right.
assume a centimeter is the smallest you can increase it.
That is correct. So he can only increase it by a centimeter. That's the minimum that he can increase it by. As of now, Mondo Duplantis has broken his own record by 1 centimeter, a grand total of 9 different times throughout his career.
Amazing.
That means he has earned $900,000 for his accolades. It's quite a genius move on his behalf. One stipulation to the bonus, though, according to Forbes, is that it can only be earned once during a meet. So if Duplantis broke his world record twice at one event, he would still only take home $100,000, not $200,000. So that's why, Arthur, that he only bumps it up that little bit to break that world record to get $100,000.
Get paid, Mondo.
The Cajun master of game theory.
I mean, this is game theory and nothing but. This is great.
This feels like something he learned at LSU.
Oh, like scamming a system? I believe that's
yes. I mean, yes. Like this totally feels like a major at LSU.
This is course credit, yeah.
This is totally. It is from the Edwin Edwards.
Pitt Girl, you have the last pick. I assume we'll talk more Olympics at some point, but what do you want to wrap up with?
So,
sorry, Andrew. My bad, Andrew. I totally missed you.
No, Andrew picked Mondo.
Yep, never mind. So yeah, Pitt Girl.
So with the last pick, I am going to talk about the very last event of the Paris Olympics.
Oh, I'm so glad, because I was going to honorable mention this if you didn't.
Yeah, no, we have to talk about this.
We do.
So generally, historically in the Olympics, the last event of the Olympics is the men's marathon. This year, because it is the first year ever in which 50% of the athletes are women, or I assume in part because of that, and because the Paris Olympics have put a lot of emphasis on gender equity. So this year, the last event of the Paris Olympics was the women's marathon. And boy, am I glad that it was, because it was a banger.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Came down to a sprint at the end, which is insane in and of itself. And the gold medalist, Sifan Hassan, and the silver medalist, Txt Asifa, who are from the Netherlands and Ethiopia, respectively, were literally like banging elbows, like sprinting to get to the end of the marathon course. And the Dutch woman won. And the thing that's even more remarkable about this, independent of all the other things that make this remarkable, is that she also ran the 5K and the 10K and got the bronze medal in both of them.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
It's unbelievable. Like that, as wild as like Marshawn's swims that were separated by an hour and 45 minutes go, doing a 5K, a 10K, and a marathon in effectively immediate succession is an insane. That's the kind of accomplishment that we probably won't see again at the Olympic level. Like, this is probably a one and done, like, ever for the Olympics.
She ran 38 competitive miles in 10 days.
Like, people do that casually, and it's insane. There are Disney adults that do the 5K, 10K half, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe they do the full, even, I don't even know. But, like, there's something like that. But that's not competitive. That's a Disney run.
Yeah. That's not, I'm going to do this against the best runners of the world in each race.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Goofy run you're thinking of.
The Goofy run, thank you, yes. What's actually part of the Goofy run?
It's 5, 10, half, and full.
That's over a weekend, by the way.
Right.
How many Dole Whips do you have to eat in between?
I mean, I would just mainline them, honestly.
God, you'd be powered by nothing but orange vomit.
Oh, it's so good. You know what? I'll talk about this graphic next time so we can get to our previews. Commish, introduce us.
Hey, by the way, we're gonna speak some college football here on this podcast. But
we're only an hour and a half into our
college
it.
It's totally done it. And, welcome to the Super SICKO Spinning Selection Season.
You said we only had 7 days to preview, and 30 minutes ago that made total sense. And now I'm like, 2 minutes a team, people. We're gonna go fast.
We're gonna go fast. That's right. It is the 5 SPF. We've got 99 questions, but a preview ain't one. Tonight we are doing the Mountain West, Oregon State, Wazoo, and all the women who are independent. I'm sorry, all the teams who are independent. Throw your hands up at me. Oh, they're all throwing their hands up.
Yeah, they are. No, this is
they actually. Okay.
Podcasting is a visual medium, listeners.
We're so good at this.
Who are we covering tonight?
We got that Mountain West. Mountain West last year. UNLV and Boise State were both 6-2. UNLV was 9-5 overall. Boise State was 8-6 overall. San Jose State was also 6-2, but they failed the crazy mathematic formula to get into the Mountain West title game. They were 7-6 overall. Air Force 5-3, 9-4 overall. Wyoming 5-3 in conference, 9-4 overall. Fresno State 4-4 in conference, 9-4 overall. Utah State 4-4 in conference, 6-7 overall. Hawaii 3-5 in conference, 5-8 overall. Colorado State 3-5 in conference, 5-7 overall. Nevada 2-6 in conference, 2-10 overall. New Mexico 2-6 in conference, 4-8 overall. San Diego State 2-6 in conference, 4-8 overall. The conference champions were the Boise State Broncos. They beat UNLV 44-20 in the Mountain West title game. Also, in this list of teams, we have Oregon State, who finished 8-5, 5-4 in the Pac-12. Wazoo 5-7 overall, 2-7 in the Pac-12, but they did win the Pac-2 championship. They did defeat Oregon State. Notre Dame 10-3 overall. UConn 3-9 overall. UMass 3-9 overall. I'm still confused at UMass being 3-9 overall, and I had to like look at their schedule again to make sure they had 3 wins.
Oh, they did.
I'm still like, really?
That North Mexico State game really helped them on that one. That was an early weird one.
Yeah, so they beat Army at Army, which was so crazy.
Yeah.
And then they opened the season at New Mexico State and caught essentially them. I would say a little bit off guard, but they got.
I remember Papia really forcing things that week.
Yeah, and they did defeat Merrimack. They which was nice.
That counts.
The Minutemen, they are known to monitor situations and what needs to be put in a lighthouse.
Commish, when you pick that picker wheel, is it loading for you at all? If it's not, that's fine. But I'm going to have to come up with give me a second to do a randomizer.
Is the mic back or no?
You're back.
You're fine.
Okay.
You were never gone.
You were never gone. I'm asking the picker wheel.
The mic went away. So the picker wheel is not working?
It's not loading for me.
Oh, God.
Which
Okay.
one, the teams or the big picker wheel?
Neither, but at least I have the questions from last time sort of.
Big picker wheel worked for me.
The one in the notes is not working?
No, I just getting share data and it just spins forever.
I have them both working.
Okay. Well, I got questions. So, Beth, if you will do teams, I'll
Sure.
do this.
I'll do that. Our first team is... Oh, no, I have it set to 1,000,000 years. Nevada.
Okay. Let me get the other window up. Our question is... Read the schedules and Jordan uses the sound for each game on this schedule. Well, I don't have a ton of sound, so we'll make this work. Nevada, let's see here. I'm going to double some of these up then.
See, this is, I mean, again, I'm requesting the soundboard. I'm putting questions in here with the soundboard.
Drag me again, and you're going to get the same sound 10 times.
Let's do it.
Okay, so who do we have? Let's see here.
All right, Nevada's football schedule. Their first game, they play. They welcome in week 0. They welcome SMU.
Holy shnikes!
I'd like to hold up. It says on their website that is the Drive for 25 / Beer Fest.
Nice.
I'm
Perfect.
listening.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, I'm on this.
Reno.
I mean,
All
this has me excited and hoping that they have theme nights for other Broken Lizard movies.
Nice.
So it's $35. You get 2 hours of beer tasting prior to kickoff.
Oh my!
You get
Boy, that set it.
You get a tasting cup and a ticket to the game.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, $35 for a ticket to the game and a 2-hour tailgate.
Right now? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to go to Reno.
I will do this.
Good.
I'm in on this, but I would like to see a college football team have a Slam and Salmon night.
It's both a dry and a fragrant heat.
It's Reno, and it's got to be a little bit cooler in Reno, right?
Wrong.
Okay. All right. At Troy next week. They welcome Georgia Southern to Reno.
Hello there.
At Minnesota.
Georgia Southern is their band day, by the way.
They welcome Eastern Washington. Okay. At San Jose State. Fuck it. Okay, Lee Corso. They welcome Oregon State.
The University Sesquicentennial Celebration.
All right. They welcome Fresno State. They go at Hawaii.
Hello there.
Then they welcome Colorado State. They go at Boise State. They welcome.
Did we lose Commish again?
Commish, you're gone.
Yep. Commissioner muted.
Resetting the mic.
Nope, can't hear you.
You're still gone.
Oh my God.
Oh no, we can hear you.
Oh, now you're back.
You're back. You're back. Don't do anything.
Nope, lost you again.
Nope.
No.
Can we get the sad Price is Right noise again?
Okay, I'll do it then. So we have Air Force.
Air Force.
And lastly, UNLV. Ooh, let's see here.
The Fremont Cannon.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
That is my sound.
Perfect. All right, that's all he's got.
Next up,
hang on, 62 years later. UMass.
And our question is, they set up schedules with the first conference opponent. Well, they're not in the conference.
They're not in the conference. New question.
How about this? Coolest facial hair on the tee.
All right.
Don Brown. Done.
There's no way. Someone's got to have better facial hair than Don Brown.
UMass football roster. 2024 football roster.
It's gray.
The things I have done to my algorithm.
Yeah, so I'm in the pool for Google's like survey things where they pay you 50 cents for answering the survey.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while I'll get a notification for that after we record the show. And they're like, were our responses to you searching UMass football roster helpful?
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't helpful.
Man, these are like really, really high definition photos.
They're very large
They're
photos.
large.
Wow.
Whoa, Dominic Schofield, number 40.
I just got to him. I was like, that is a solid beard.
Yeah,
Oh
gonna
my
drop
God,
him
Dominic.
in the chat.
Number
Oh, yeah,
40.
that's very good.
Okay.
That's a good beard. I think he's the winner.
Yeah, I think so too. Everyone else is sort of pretty straightforward on their facial hair.
I do also like number 60, Josh Atwood, just as an example of a very like Massachusettsian man.
Extremely so.
Number 84, Shane Robles. He doesn't have facial hair, but he's very much got the handsome Squidward
Yeah,
face.
his jawline is remarkable.
I am terrified of Brandon McElroy, number 88. On the same one, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I do not want. No, he. And then Owen Anderson looks like he's
got Brandon
right next to him.
Brandon McElroy has like low key Lionel Richie energy.
Mm.
you could tell me Owen Anderson was the strength coach, and I'd believe you.
Yeah.
Brandon
It was
McElroy,
something-
low
went to
key
somewhere
Lionel Richie energy. What I mean?
Owen Anderson went to something that's called the Hun School, so
He looks like he's 57.
Yeah, Owen
We're
Anderson
here to
does
get
look
down
a
to
little old.
business.
Beth education idea. We start a set of charter schools based on the teachings of the Huns and or Mongolians in general.
I would be fine with this. I will help.
Please do not make me start yelling about the historical inaccuracy of Disney's movie Mulan. We don't have time for that.
Wait, it's not historically accurate?
Can I give an honorable mention?
The Huns were not invading China. They are Germanic.
Yeah. Well, they're both the Huns, and then they also make a Mongolian barbecue joke later on. It's a very confused movie.
Shout out to my friend Adam, who would always sing the Mulan song at karaoke for some odd reason.
Which Mulan song? Please let it be a reflection.
Let's get down to business.
Damn it.
I'm gonna make him mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our UMass preview. I think we've got Dominic Schofield as our person. Who's next, Beth?
It is tick.
I'm gonna spin mine first.
Hawaii.
How many games being undefeated would it take to get this team ranked?
Hawaii. Football. Schedule.
It's-
I know
it's
they
going to
open
be-
against Delaware State.
If they beat UCLA, that will help.
That would help a lot.
It may not help him get ranked. No.
They won't get
6.
ranked, thanks. That's
Okay, but if
that's
six.
week one.
6 games.
6, I think, feels right. I think the win against UCLA will help, but if they go back to back against San Diego State and Boise State, I think they're ranked.
Yeah, and they play Wazoo after that.
So 6 or 7 would get you there, I think.
Yeah.
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 If they beat Washington State on the CW, that's a guaranteed 25th ranking.
That is true. That's their favorite spot.
Next team is San Diego State.
Our question is,
I've lost
who
my
is this
mouse.
team's FCS FBS doppelganger?
Hmm.
Who is like them in FCS?
Which team is it again?
San Diego State.
Okay.
It was Iowa,
Yeah, I mean, they've been incredibly boring for so long.
but there's no more Brady Hoke.
Right. So they have a new personality, and it's fun football, question mark?
Fun football from Kent State with a pit stop at Colorado last year. Sean Lewis.
Yes, that's correct. So I'm going to say that, yeah, they're going to be a lot more fun. So I feel like it's got to be like, is it like old school Kent State with that sort of like fun, kind of explosive football that they used to play?
Hmm.
Or is it more like, he did go to Wisconsin. San Diego State did play very Wisconsin-y football for a while.
And Wisconsin is also reinventing itself.
That's true.
Okay, I can go with
Okay,
this.
so yeah, I can do the.
It's 6 months in an ashram football.
Okay.
They're going to come
trying
back
to
feeling
reinvent
better.
themselves.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Next,
Next
Oregon State.
The Beavs.
Our question is, Pitt Girl, what Civ 5, 6 win type team best suits this team?
I'm
Oh.
so tired of this question.
All right, I'm gonna remove it next time.
It's okay. It's a good question. I I struggle with this with specific college football teams.
Think about who their athletic director is.
Oh, that's true. Scott Barnes, noted ruiner of things.
So domination.
Yeah, so yeah, this is like the obnoxious AI that like is always trying to win a domination victory against you. That makes them like either Germany in Civ 6, is it like Ludwig, whatever the fuck. He's super annoying. Shaka in 5 is super annoying.
Love me, Shaka.
Shaka's fun to play. He has great background music, but he's really annoying to play against as an AI. Like, just leave me alone. Please just leave me alone.
I was going to say Germany in 6 also, like, just to be annoying since they can convert barbarians.
Yeah, they can convert barbarians in 5 too. And like, they're just super annoying. And Ludwig's super annoying in 6 particularly because he's like, I'm all artsy. And then he starts a war with you and won't let you like declare peace with him even after you've captured a bunch of his cities and he's clearly losing. I definitely don't hate him specifically. It's fine.
I can tell.
It's fine. It's cool to be BFFs with Wagner. Anyway, Colorado State is next.
Oregon State, we love you. We just apparently don't like your athletic director.
Colorado State. This team has moved 2 states over. Pick east, west, south, or north to the 4th largest city of that state. Jesus Christ, so many things.
Oh my God.
Where are they now?
All right, so we got to pick east, west, south, or north for Colorado. Where are we going?
What's the 4th largest city in California? San Francisco. I don't like them there.
Wait, that's 2 over from Colorado?
No, it's 3 over. They'd be in Nevada if they were 2 over.
They'd be in Nevada.
Okay. Now I'm interested.
Okay, so Nevada West, 4th largest city in Nevada.
If we move them 2 states east, they're in Missouri.
Idaho or Missouri.
I like
or not Idaho, Iowa or Missouri.
Iowa might be fun.
The 4th largest city in Nevada is Carson City.
That's
they're in the capital, so that makes sense. They're in Nevada State.
Yeah, I wouldn't rename them because it's still funnier if they're Colorado State.
Colorado State in Nevada.
Colorado State University of Nevada. Yes, we'll do the Pennsylvania thing.
Yes.
Okay.
What's the 4th largest city in Iowa?
Well, that's a good question.
It's Sioux City. Now, I think I like Carson City better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it. Next up.
Boise State.
Our question is, a weird or monstrosity of a stadium food that matches the CFB team.
It's
Y'all,
blue.
I'm telling you right now.
Blue potato?
No. We take blue cotton candy.
Okay.
We take purple potato fries, blue potato fries.
Oh.
Okay.
We take like a blueberry confit or like a stewed blueberry thing. And then we cover it in like blue raspberry Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
You feeling this?
Okay.
A counterpoint, we go the simple but horrifying route, and we invent potato bacon.
I mean,
what is potato bacon? I don't know.
You're
what
just
does your
deep frying
heart
the
tell you
potato
it
skins.
is?
Yeah, you're just frying potato skins.
Yeah,
so first you cure them in a closet for like 6 months.
And also they're blue. Don't ask why.
Did you see that the bacon cotton candy thing made it to the top of the Texas State Fair list? Like it's one of the featured dishes now.
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's bacon and cotton candy and some other things. It's a lot.
Jail.
I'm gonna do a blue food for the Boise State folks. It is gonna be called the Great Blue Dini Daiquiri. I am going that way. It's a drink with the blue curacao. You're gonna have a Sonic slushy of the blue coconut variety, and this is gonna be in a yard dog in Boise, Idaho.
How many Pop Rocks does it have in it?
Yeah, you're gonna throw in some blue Pop Rocks on the top, and you're gonna rim it with Pop Rocks at the same time.
A blue rock candy stick is a stirrer.
That's right. A blue
and topped with the blue gummy sharks.
Hell yes.
I mean, done. I mean, can we get like?
I think I had this at Applebee's.
Do they have gummy horses by any chance, or can we make those?
We could make those.
You can gummify anything.
All right, we'll make blue gummy horses that we put inside the daiquiri.
We're gonna find out really horrifying things one day. Beth's like, you can gummify anything. A body. Next up,
UNLV.
And our question is, Find the long snapper. Talk about them only.
I know we get this question a lot, but it makes me happy every time.
Yeah, this one's good. I like this one.
Great. I love this one.
Oh, no, I don't want 2204. That's not the right year.
2024 football roster.
I'm seeing Walker Harden.
Sort by position.
Walker Harden. Okay.
59 from Bothell, Washington. Went to Bothell High School.
I got Ben Lisk.
That's who I got.
There are 3 long snaps.
I got the junior. Oh my god! Looks like he's wearing like
three long snappers. We've got
junior
number 36 junior Ben Lisk of Phoenix, Arizona.
We've
got number 52 freshman Sam Wolfenden of Cave Creek, Arizona, and number 59 Walker Harden senior, presumably the starter of Bothell, Washington.
He is the starter.
He did start in all games last year, and for the Mountain West regular season co-champs that UNLV would like to remind you of.
And this is his grad year. He got his bachelor's in marketing in December.
So we've got a management major, a business major, and a marketing major. I'm learning a lot about long snappers today. And a little about love.
What part about love have you learned today?
Redacted. Next on our list is San Jose State.
It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie.
Read the schedule and predict for this year if they will be higher or lower SICKO's poll ranking than last season.
Okay.
Commish, can you find where San Jose State ended up last year?
Did I not throw that in the show notes?
I did not see it, but I did
Who
not
is it?
down far enough. San Jose State.
San Jose State. Okay. Uno momento, por favor.
You're fine. I'm just looking at their schedule. They open up against. I mean, they have a pretty cushy schedule? ? It could be a lot worse for them. They're opening versus Sacramento State. They've got Kennesaw State for non-conference. They have Washington State for conference? ?
Found it.
Okay.
San Jose State was 96th.
I mean, I feel like the entire Mountain West is going to get a bump this year.
Yeah. They're going to be on the CW a lot.
Right.
So I think they're going to finish better than 96th.
They're gonna play on the CW. They're playing Oregon State and Washington State, and they're playing Kennesaw State, who's going to be one of our teams we're cheering for big this year.
They're going to be a lot of our late games, I think, too. So yeah, I would say they'd be higher.
Okay. Beth, who do we got next?
New Mexico.
Nuevo Mexico.
Do you think you
one
could
of them
defeat
New Mexicos?
Do you think we could defeat this team's coaching staff, head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and special teams coaches at a game of Pictionary? That's an awesome question. I like that.
That's a good question.
Let's see.
So Bronco Mendenhall is
the head coach.
Bronco's going down.
Yes, I'm kicking his ass. Like Pitt Girl and I alone, I think, could take him down.
Yeah.
Why are you also confident about this?
I don't know. Like, I can't speak for Pitt Girl, but I know that Pictionary was a major game that was played like throughout my life. This is a very common game, and I feel like I'm very, very good at it.
Okay. So the offensive coordinator is Jason Beck. He was the OC and QB coach at Syracuse last year.
Right. Yes, he was.
The defensive coordinator was Nick Howell. He was the DC at Vanderbilt from 2022 to 2023, and now he's in New Mexico.
He was also with Mendenhall at Virginia and BYU.
Okay, was Beck with him?
Chemistry.
Beck was with him in Virginia, so now these coaches got some history here.
Okay, so this is. Ooh, I don't know about this now.
Okay, but I will counter with, I do not have an extensive history of playing Pictionary like Beth does. However, this podcast, we spend approximately 4 hours a week riffing with each other, trying to understand how each other, not intentionally, but we are ultimately seeking to understand how each other think. I think we would be pretty good at Pictionary as a team.
I think we would be too. We could definitely Family Feud at this point.
Here's the thing. Like, even though some of these coaching staffs have worked together before, do we really think that any of them talk to each other for more than 4 hours a week?
No.
Honestly,
they also only think about football.
They only draw like football plays.
Right.
We're drawing other shit here.
That is
So
true.
we're taking you down, Lobos. You're going down in Pictionary.
Yeah.
Bronco, you're going down.
Okay.
Wyoming.
You hit that one so hard the mic cracked. Good for you.
Oh my god.
What
no.
are Google reviews for Wyoming?
Oh, I want to see these.
I'm sorry about my gain.
No, it was good. You never break it. I was impressed.
Wyoming.
Yum.
Let's see here.
I just want somebody to say, like, this is just way too high up in the mountains.
Lowest.
I got one from Jeff M. Highly aggressive ticketing in parking lots. Don't scratch your parking card incorrectly. Don't leave your car for a second without a parking card. Don't park in you instead of brown. They make it confusing to maximize ticketing revenue in an unethical way.
Ooh.
I would like to take this moment to tell the person who's being a transphobe in Wyoming's reviews to fuck all the way off.
Yep,
Yes.
I went right over that one. Someone named Teddy Gellifier 9 years ago wrote a review that starts with Section 1, University of Wyoming. So you know how long that is.
Oh no.
Oh my god, he wrote his thesis on University of Wyoming.
I would call it a manifesto.
Oh my god. Connor Stallions went to Wyoming.
More people need to write good manifestos. Maybe that's what guys need to do. Is it manifesto fall? No, wait. That sounds awful. No.
The last thing
Nope.
we need is for men to be writing manifestos,
Men
Jordan.
manifesto fall. Yeah, here we go.
Speaking of, our next team is Notre Dame.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Oh, I said Jesus Christ.
Review the
What's that?
1994 season. And
Oh,
bring-
okay,
I
so
don't
the
want to.
The year after they won the national title, right?
I mean, yeah, but it was not a great year for them quickly. Yes, they won the national title that year. The next
They went 6-5-1.
They went 6-5-1 after they won the national title. I want to say that
What bowl game did they play in though?
they did not.
Fiesta Bowl.
Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, Fiesta Bowl. Sorry, and they lost to Colorado.
They went 6-5 and made the fucking Fiesta Bowl?
Yep.
Okay, so here's a weird quirk, right? So you know how right now Notre Dame has the arrangement where they just like get an ACC bowl game?
Yeah.
So this was back. I was not alive at the time. I forget which one was the bowl coalition and which one was the bowl alliance.
It was
There
before
was-
that. Yeah,
there
it
was-
was-
no.
it wasn't the
This is-
BCS. It wasn't.
I'm
the
saying
BCS.
no, but it was pre-BCS. I'm saying
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was like the bowl alliance or the bowl coalition or it was one of those. They had a point where they had explicitly in like the auto bids, it was like, okay, like the SEC champ is going to be involved and like
Yep.
the Big 12 champ is going to be involved. And Notre Dame had like an auto bid to basically like the BCS playoff level, or not playoff, BCS like New Year's Six level game. It did not matter like that they were 6-5. It was like they just automatically have this berth because they were like the only independent team that people cared about. So they like wrote it in because it was like, oh, like we can't have these automatic bids because like what if we want Notre Dame? So like they wrote them in, and then it was like, well, they're 6-5, but they're the champions of Notre Dame every year. They've won another auto bid.
Dumb
Gross.
and stupid, and I hate it.
Yep.
I love this schedule. Like, this schedule is ridiculous. They started the year ranked 3rd. They beat Northwestern. They lost to number 6 Michigan. They won at Michigan State. They won at home against Purdue. Won at home against Stanford. Lost to Boston College for the second
do
year
that.
in the war.
Can't do that.
Well, I mean, BC beat them in '93, like after they beat like number 1 Florida State, and they still won the title, which was insane back in the 90s. Then they lost to BYU. They beat Navy. They lost to Florida State in Orlando in a neutral site game. They beat Air Force. They tied USC 17-17 on ABC. And then Colorado blew them out 41-24 in the Fiesta Bowl.
I mean, that's like coming
that
off
was
a national
Cordell Stewart, Colorado.
coming off of a national championship and then just 6-5 and winning it is pretty sickos. That's pretty impressive. especially for a ninth-year head coach too.
Yeah, I think like for what we're rating this, like I'm gonna give this a 10 because it's coming off a national championship, going 6-5-1, and then still going to the Fiesta Bowl.
That's very sickos. 94 Colorado, by the way. They started their year off with a win of against brand new FBS team, Louisiana Monroe.
There you go.
And I believe also this season started Notre Dame's streak of losing the
I think so.
New Year's Six BCS level bowl games.
I think it did. It started the sickos. Yeah, because they lost the Orange Bowl to Florida State. Yeah, it's they lost the Independence Bowl to LSU. Lost the Kansas Bowl. Oh my God. Oregon State beat the crap out of them in the Fiesta Bowl. Yeah, it started the streak.
There you go. Beth, what do we got next?
Wazoo!
September Maryland scenario. This team goes undefeated through the end of September.
Ooh.
Who do they beat and how does the season finish?
Wazoo.
What does their
Football.
schedule even look like?
See, that's the question. No, I don't want WVU.
You know what? Apple Cup is week 3. If they get that, then honest to God, they win the first 4 games. I feel like that this is a good season for them and they're happy no matter what happens afterwards.
Yeah, so their September Maryland record would be 5-0, including August 31st, with Portland State at home, Texas Tech at home, at Washington, San Jose State at home, and at Boise State.
I mean, it's
pretty good.
If they do that, they could possibly win out the rest of it if they're that hot.
Yeah. Oh, they end the season with Wyoming. I like that. That's a vibe.
In Pullman, Wyoming at Washington State on November
30th at 6:30.
Oh my God, give me snow, please.
No,
on the CW.
It's going to be raining icicles. It's not snow. It's like ice shards. That's all that happens up there. I love it. Hey, Beth, what do we got?
Fresno State.
And our question is, which national park is closest to the university and would you visit it?
It's one of the ones in California, so yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a super easy one for me.
Which one is it? I don't know where Fresno is.
Fresno, it looks like the nearest national park.
Oh, it's kind of in the middle.
Oh, man.
Sequoia National
It's
Park?
Sequoia. It's definitely Sequoia.
Actually, no, it might be Yosemite.
Actually, no, Yosemite.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, which one? Yes.
Yeah, those are both great. And yes, we would go there.
We would go.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Okay. That's
guaranteed.
Next, Utah State.
Utah State. Change the school to Pokemon and all the opponents to Pokemon and predict their schedule and record. We're not going to do all of that.
That's too many.
I can give you their schools of Pokemon. I mean, Taurus is the obvious answer here, folks. It's Utah State's the Aggies, and they do use a bull as their.
Yeah, but it's a blue bowl.
Okay, so what are we leaning here then?
What color is shiny Bouffalante? Googling.
I love this question that says, sit this one out, Commish. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Shiny
It's like, it's just a Taurus with a fro.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even like interestingly colored.
No,
shiny
it's Taurus covered.
Green.
You know, y'all, I found out who it is.
Oh, no, it's Shiny Miltank. Shiny Miltank is blue.
I was going to just drop Shiny Miltank.
God.
Shiny Miltank is blue.
With the shiny blue nipples, absolutely. Teats. Teat is the proper word. Can I say teat on this podcast? Is that word okay?
You can, but I feel
so
like Shiny
glad.
Blue Nipples is giving podcast title.
Okay. Yeah, shiny blue nipples. Can't use teat in a podcast title.
It's a teat detente. All right, Yukon is next.
Trying to push it through. Who's their candidate for all-name team?
Yukon.
Roster. Search. 2024.
While you're looking, did you see Gus Malzahn was bragging about only taking 20 minutes to take the UCF football photo?
Wow.
Said one of his best timings.
We got number 4, Stan Cross.
It's very good. Cam Chadwick. Brian Domino.
Valentine Sen.
Connor Stutz is good. Carter Boscovich. I love a good Boscovich.
Tank Green. It's Tank Green.
Oh, it is 100% Tank
Yeah.
Green.
And what position? And is he on the offensive lineman? You bet he is.
How big is he?
He is
295.
Okay, we can bulk him up a little bit. Tank is good.
6'6". No. 6'6", 295.
Oh, never mind. Yep, he's good.
Tank Green.
Okay, there we go.
The secret fourth Green brother.
Oh, we could have had him at WVU. The things that might have been. And our
Who's
last school for tonight is Air Force.
Okay, we got to follow them on. Go ahead,
All
Commish.
right.
Get 'em on.
Doing that.
We don't already follow Air Force? I'm disappointed.
I think we do. Follow the
I
school's
thought y'all supported the troops.
football
No.
team's Twitter account and tweet during the podcast recording. Now follow at Air Force Football. There you go. I rerun real fast to UConn. They have a dude from Bavaria, Germany, who also is a TCU transfer at tight end.
Okay.
He's from Schwalzbisch Hall. I think that means unicorn. I think Schwalzbisch means unicorn. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something else. Anyways, doesn't matter. Commish, did you get that?
I'm working on it right now. I got to look for the weird hashtags because I was getting a whole just random Air Force stuff.
What
That's
is
right.
German for unicorn? Search. Einhorn is what Google
Einhorn.
Translate
Okay.
says.
Okay, I had that wrong.
Which
then.
is not the same thing as squirrel, which is Eichhörnchen.
I love
Yeah,
you, German.
take that, German pronunciation nerds.
Language of poets and love. German's beautiful.
Eichhörnchen.
Folks, that's all we got for tonight. We will see you guys for our next preview with special guests, and we will see you on the other side. Take care.